Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Cool Team Battle Report. Today we are going to be playing a 200-point game because we're adding in commanders between my Genestealer Cult and Neil's Dark Angels. So the story that we've got going on here is that a forward operating force from the Dark Angels were sent into this Manufactorum to investigate what was going on because every other, the PDF, every force that had been sent in never came back. So when they arrived into the Manufactorum here, they realized that it was infested by the Genestealer Cult. So they soon found themselves besieged by the Genestealer Cult, who were trying to hold their ground, as well as the Dark Angels trying not to lose ground against them. So we're going to be playing Hold the Line in this mission. So we've got 4 objectives here. 1, 2, 3, and then there's one underneath over here. 4. Basically, at the end of the game, if nobody's been broken, then those markers end up being worth 1 point or 3 points each, 3 points each, and you get an additional point if you take out the opponent's commander. So that is the mission. That is the story that we've got going on here. Before we go any further, though, let's show you the 2 armies. So for the Genestealer Cult, my kill team will consist of a Magos, who is my commander. He'll have the Psyker specialism. On the left there, I've got my Acolyte leader, who will be my leader. He has a Hand Flamer. We have the Aberrant in the front there with a Power Hammer. He will be my Combat Specialist. The guy to his right over there will be the Zealot Specialist. I then have another 2 Aberrants with hammers. I have an Acolyte Fighter who has a Heavy Rock Saw. He will be my Scout Specialist. I have another Aberrant with a Power Pick. I've got 2 Neophyte Gunners with mining lasers. I then have an Acolyte Fighter with a Heavy Rock Drill. I've got an Acolyte Fighter with a Heavy Rock Cutter, and I've got an Acolyte Fighter with Demo Charges. And for the Dark Angels, he'll be running a Primaris Captain with a Power Sword, a Mastercrafted Auto Bolt Rifle. We then have a Scout Gunner with a Heavy Bolter. We have a leader with a Camo Cloak and Sniper Rifle. We have a Comm Specialist on the right over here with a Camo Cloak and Sniper Rifle. We also have we have the Demolitions Expert with Camo Cloak and Sniper Rifle, and we have 4 other Scouts with Camo Cloaks and Sniper Rifles. All right, so this is the armies going over deployment. I've got 2 Aberrants over here with hammers. These are regular guys. I've got my Aberrant, who is my Combat Specialist, up over here. We've got my Aberrant with a Power Pick here. We've got my Acolyte Fighter with the Demo Charges up front there. We've got a Gunner with the Mining Laser. We've got a Fighter with the Cutter. We've got a Fighter with the Drill. We've got my Magus over here. Down over here, we've got my Zealot Aberrant with the Hammer. We've got my Leader with the Hand Flamer back over here. And over here, we have my Scout Specialist with the Heavy Rock Saw. Going over deployment for the Dark Angels, we got Dude Bro with Sniper Rifle Cloak, Sniper Rifle Cloak, Sniper Rifle Cloak, Sniper Rifle Cloak. We've got his Primaris Captain over here. Up top, we've got his Heavy Gunner. We've got the Comm Specialist. We have the Demo Specialist, and then we have the Leader down in there. So that's the deployment. So now what we're going to do is my opponent took 15 points, spent 15 points for the Commander trait, which allows him to, it's called Tactical, not Tactical Genius, Tactical Planner, which allows him to get an additional D3 command points at the beginning of the game. So you'll take an additional 3 command points. So my opponent is up to 5 command points, which is pretty awesome. So now we will roll to see who has the initiative going into turn 1. Ooh, with the double 6s with emphasis. We will come back to you after a movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. All right, so my Genestealer Cult have Cult Ambush. So we're going to roll for them to see what happens. So we're going to start over here on a 5 up. We're starting on the left. Nope. Next guy over. Will be doing it. Then we've got up front here the guy with the Demo Charges. Will be doing it. So will let's see, the next guy over here. Will also be going. What about this guy? Will be doing it. He's not going to try. The guy with the Cutter is not going to be. The guy with the Drill will be. He will probably be just staying where he is. Then we've got the guy down on the ground there. Will not be. The leader's going to stay where he is. And then I've got my other scout specialist over here who will not be. All right, movement phase for the Genestealer Cult here on turn 1. My leader stood still over here. Mind Laser guy readied himself. Mind Laser guy readied himself. Magos moved up over this way. My Aberrant over here advanced over there. Rolled a 6 for his advance. My scout over here advanced. Rolled a 6. He advanced. Rolled a 4. He's down over there. And that's for the movement right now. That's what we have, because now we have a bunch of charges that we're going to try to do. So we're going to start with my guy in the front here. He is going to charge into his leader over there. So looking for a 6 with the sniper rifle. That is a hit. So wounding on a 3. That is a wound. 5 up, save. No, takes a wound. Injury roll. Yep, he out. Oh, man. All right, so now my dude bro over here is going to charge into his leader over there. Looking for another Overwatch here. No hit that time, thankfully. So his charge distance, looking for a 7-inch charge. Does not make it in. I'm going to spend a command point to reroll that. And he's in. And now my combat specialist is going to charge into his commander over there. So his Overwatch here with his mastercrafted auto bolt rifle is no hits. My opponent's going to spend a command point to reroll. No hit there. So his charge distance, looking for a 5-inch charge. Will make it in. Now my guy with the drill is going to charge in. 6-inch charge. And he's in. All right, so now this guy here is going to charge into him. Overwatching here? No hit there. So he needs a 7-inch charge. Making it in. And then at the end, he also advanced over that way. So that's it for the movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. We'll come back to you with the movement phase for the Dark Angels. All right, so that's the movement phase for the Dark Angels here. Readied, and readied. And everyone else is in combat. So that's it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the Psychic phase. All right, in the Psychic phase, we're going to cast Might from Beyond onto my combat specialist in there. Looking for a 6. It is a 6, so it goes off. He's going to have +1 strength and +1 attack. All right, we're going to start off the shooting phase with my Mining Laser guy here shooting into his heavy up there. He's obscured, and he is more than half range, so I'm going to be hitting on a 6. No hit. All right, so now his heavy specialist here with the heavy bolter is going to be firing into my Magus over here. He is going to have 3 shots. The comm specialist back there gave him +1. -1 because he's obscured, but he's within half range, so it's going to be 3 shots, hitting on 3s. Getting 2 hits. These are going to be 2 hits, so that's going to be strength 5, looking for 3s to wound. Getting 2 wounds, AP -1, so we've got 2 6-up saves. Not making either of them, so he takes 2 wounds. All right, so now this guy is going to fire into his heavy specialist, hitting on a 6 again because he's more than half range, and he is obscured. Hitting it with a fill first, strength 9, so wounding on a 2. That is a wound. 1 second. All right, so it's AP -3, so that's going to go straight through on him. So it's going to be D3 damage. It's going to be 1 damage. I'm going to spend a command point to reroll that. All right, so it's going to be 1 damage. Let's see what his injury roll is going to be. A 6, and he's out of action with a fill face. All right, so anyway, just wanted to mention that he didn't have a camo cloak because apparently the only way to get camo cloaks in Kill Team is if you have the sniper rifle and camo cloak. So you can't take one if you've got the heavy bolter, just to let it know why he was 6. Because these guys would have also been 6s to hit since they're obscured and have the cloaks. So I figured I was going to try to take out the guy that was really scary up there. So we'll now move on to the next shooting. All right, now his comm specialist is going to fire into my Magos over here. He's going to be hitting on a 4 because he's obscured, but he's within half range.
Yep, and he can't calm himself since FAQ.
Yep, can't calm himself since the FAQ. No hit. Bonus going to spend a command point on that. That is a hit now. So now this is going to be wounding on a 3. No wound. All right, so now this guy is ready to shoot into my Magos over here, hitting on a 4 because he's obscured. That's a hit. That is not a wound. And now he's going to do the same thing. That is not a hit.
Got to give as well as I can.
And now his last guy that can shoot is going to shoot. That is not a hit. All right, at the beginning of the fight phase, my opponent's going to spend 2 command points for Decisive Strike, and he's going to have his commander there attack into my dude bro. So he's going to put 3 attacks onto my combat specialist, 2 attacks into my dude bro with the drill. So we're going to have the 3 attacks into my combat specialist. He's going to be hitting on 2s, getting 2 hits. 1 second. All right, yep, so we got 2 hits. These are now going to be wounding on 4s. Getting 1 wound. AP -3 is just going to go straight through, so he puts a wound on him. And now 2 attacks into my Acolyte over there. Getting 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. No wound. My opponent's going to spend a command point to reroll that. Into a wound. AP -3 is going to go straight through, so injury roll. He takes a wound. All right, so now my combat specialist is going to attack into him on the charge there. He's got 2 attacks base as an aberrant, +1 because he's a combat specialist, +1 again because of having the Might from Beyond. So he's going to have 4 attacks. These are going to be hitting on 4s because it's -1 with the hammer. Ooh, getting 1 hit. That's it. I can't reroll anything. So 1 hit. This is going to be wounding on a 2, though. That is a wound. AP minus, 1 second. All right, it's AP -3, but he's got a 4-up Iron Halo save. And he's good. And now my dude bro with a heavy rock drill is going to attack into him. 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. Not getting anything. All right, now my dude bro over here is going to attack into his leader. I've got 2 attacks. These are going to be hitting on 3s. And now my guy over here is going to attack into his demolitions expert. 2 attacks, hitting on 4s. All right, getting 1 hit, wounding on a 2. That is a wound with a fill face. AP -3 is just going to go straight through. So that is 3 damage. So 3 injury rolls. And that 5 will take him out. All right, so now his leader, his sergeant there, is going to attack into my aberrant over there. So he's got 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. That's 1 hit, wounding on a 4. That is a wound. 5-up save. He's good with a filth phase. Woo! All right, so that's the end of combat phase, and that is going to be the end of the turn because no one has to take any morale tests. So we'll now roll to see who will have the initiative going into turn 3, or turn 2. Sorry, turn 2. My opponent will go with a 9, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels. All right, movement phase for the Dark Angels here. He readied himself, he readied himself, he readied himself, and he moved up over to there. These other 2 guys stayed in combat. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. All right, movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. He readied himself, he readied himself. He's just going to stay where he is. He's going to stay where he is. Over here, he advanced up the building over to there. He is going to charge. They all stayed in combat. He advanced up over here, and then this guy, down over there, advanced. You can see him just right in there. Advanced over to there. So now we do have a couple charges that we're going to do. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to have him charging into him. So I need a 7-inch charge to get in. Can't overwatch, and he's in. And now he's going to charge into both of these guys because that's a 2-inch gap, which means I can just leap over it. So his overwatch from the sniper guy is not a hit. He's going to spend a command point to re-roll it. He really wants to snipe him in the face. No hit there. So here we go. The charge distance. It's totally in. All right, so starting off the sniper phase. The shooting phase, this sniper scout's going to shoot into my Magus over here. So he's going to be hitting on a 4 because he's obscured. No hit, but he's going to spend his last command point to re-roll it. Here we go. No hit. All right, so now this guy here is going to fire into this sniper up here. He's -1 to hit because of his camo cloak, but he's not obscured and he's within half range. So it's going to be hitting on a 5. No hit. And now this guy back here is going to fire into that guy. He's going to be hitting on a 6 because he's obscured and he's got a camo cloak. No hit. All right, so now this guy's going to shoot into my Magus over here. So he's going to be hitting. He moved with a heavy weapon, so that's -1 to hit. He's obscured, so that's -2 to hit. But he's within half range, so he's going to be hitting on a 5. No hit. All right, so now on to the psychic phase. I'm going to give Might from Beyond onto my combat specialist over there. So it's going to be 2 dice looking for a 6. That's only a 4. It would be +1 because of his psychic power, but I'm going to... Whoa. No, I'm going to let it go. Sorry, we did that backwards. I know the psychic was supposed to come before the shooting, but we didn't, so womp womp. All right, so I'm actually going to spend, into the fight phase, I'm going to spend 2 CP for Decisive Strike for my combat specialist to attack into his Primaris captain there. So I've got 3 attacks. These are going to be hitting on 4s because he's got 2 base +1 for being a combat specialist. So this is going to be hitting on 4s. That's more like it. So getting 3 hits. These are going to be wounding on 2s. That is going to be 2 wounds. AP -3, so he's got his 4-up invul save. Failing 1, so he takes 3 damage. All right, so now the Chargers get to attack. So we're gonna go with my guy with the heavy rock cutter. He's gonna be attacking into his Primaris captain there. I've got 2 attacks. These are gonna be hitting on 4s because it's -1 to hit. Oh man. All right, so now my heavy rock cutter guy is gonna attack into his dude bro there. I've got 2 attacks hitting on 3s. That is gonna be 1 hit, wounding on a 2. That is a wound that goes straight through. Yeah, it's AP -4, so yeah, that's really going through there. And this is going to be 2 damage, so 2 to try to take him out. No, he's going to take a flesh wound. All right, so now into the regular guys. My opponent has initiative, so he is going to put 2 attacks from his captain into my aberrant combat specialist, 2 attacks into my guy with the rock drill, and 1 attack into my guy with the rock cutter. So we're gonna go with the 2 attacks into the rock drill first. That is 2 hits. These are gonna be wounding on 3s. Those are both wounds. So going through, so it's going to, -3 is just gonna go straight through. So he gets 1, try to take him out here. No, takes another flesh wound. And now on to my aberrant over there, 2 attacks, hitting on 2s. Getting 2 hits, wounding on 4s. Getting 2 wounds. AP -4 is going to go straight through. So that's finally that's going to wound him, taking him out. 4 will take him out. And now the 1 attack into my rock cutter guy. Hitting on a 2. No hit. So now my aberrant over here is going to attack into his leader. I've got 2 attacks hitting on 3s. Because he's got the pick. That's 2 hits. Wounding on 3s because he's strength 5. That is 1 wound at AP -2, so it's going to be a 6-up save. No, goes through, so that is going to be, ooh, 1 second. Yep, it's D3 damage. Doing 1 damage, so trying to take him out. No, takes a flesh wound. All right, so now his scout sergeant, the leader's going to attack back. He's got 2 attacks, hitting on 3s because he ignores that first flesh wound as a space marine. That's 2 hits. That is 1 wound. Save with a fill face. Woo! And now my guy with the rock drill is going to attack in, hitting on 5s because of the 2 flesh wounds. Not getting either of them. And now this guy's going to attack into my rock cutter. 1 attack, hitting on a 3. That's a hit. Wounding on a 3. That is a wound. That is not a save. So it's, see if he's knocked out. No, flesh wound. And now he's going to attack into my rock cutter guy, hitting on a 3 because he ignores that first flesh wound. That's a wound. That's a hit. Sorry. And a wounding on a 3. That's a wound. That's not a save. See if he's out. No, flesh wound. All right, so now we don't, that's the end of the turn there. Into the morale phase. We don't have anybody that's breaking, but we do have some nerve tests to take. So over here, he has to take a nerve test. 5 plus 2 is 7. He's good to go because there's 2 guys out. He has to take a nerve test. He's good. My guy over here is also good. And I think that's it. That's all the guys I have with flesh wounds. So now on to his guys with flesh wounds. He's got 1 guy with a flesh wound here. 6, he is shaken, but he gets to re-roll because of and they shall know no fear. Into a 3, he is good to go. And then he's got his leader over there. His leader would have been fine because he only has 2 guys out. So he was definitely going to be fine. But anyway, so everyone's fine. So now we will roll to see who will have the initiative going to the next turn. I rolled we both rolled an 8, so re-rolling. I rolled a 5. My opponent will have the initiative, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels. Yeah. All right, so his guy over here stayed in combat. He got readied. He stayed in combat. Commander stayed in combat. He readied up here, and then his leader over there stayed in combat. So that is going to be it for the movement phase for the Dark Angels. We'll come back to after movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. All right, movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. He readied. He readied. He readied, even though I don't think he's going to be able to shoot anybody. He just stayed where he was. Everyone who was in combat is going to stay in combat, and then we've got some charges. So my Zealot Specialist here is going to charge into this guy and this guy over here. So we've got an Overwatch from the one guy that's not in combat over there.
Oh yeah, that's he's back.
Hitting on a 6 with the sniper rifle. No hit there. So here comes this charge distance. He's totally in. All right, my Aberrant down there is going to charge into his commander. And he's totally in. And my guy down there is going to charge into his commander. No, not going to make it with that. No, I'm just going to leave it at that. All right, so into the psychic phase. I remembered this time. He is going to put Might from Beyond onto my Aberrant over there that charged in. So this is going to be looking for a 6. Getting it with a 5 because he gets +1 since he's the Psyker Specialism. So that gives him +1, so that goes off. All right, now shooting phase. He is going to start us off by shooting into my Magus. So here we go. Hitting on, he stayed still, so he's got, but he's less than half range, but he's obscured, so hitting on a 4. That is a hit. Wounding on a 3. That is a wound. 5-up save. No, goes through, another wound. All right, so my laser bro over here is going to fire into him. He's obscured and has a camel cloak, so he's going to be hitting on a 6. No. And now this guy's going to do the same thing. He's got the camel cloak hitting on a 5. See, I should have done it the other way around. All right, so now this scout here is going to use his bolt pistol to shoot into my dude bro, hitting on a 3. That's a hit. Wounding on a 3. That's not a wound. And his scout sergeant over there is going to shoot, hitting on a 3. That's a hit. Wounding on a 4. That's a wound. But that's not a save. All right, so at the beginning of the phase, my opponent spent 2 command points for Decisive Strike. I also spent 2 command points on Decisive Strike because we both really want to get our strikes in over there. So we have to roll off to see who goes first. Ooh, my opponent will go first. All right, so his commander is going to go first. He's going to put 2 attacks onto my Aberrant, 2 attacks onto my guy with the drill, and 1 attack onto my Rock Cutter. So we're going to go the 2 into the Aberrant first. Hitting on 2s. That's 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. Getting 1 wound. AP -3 is just going to go straight through.
Repeat.
And now to the guy with the drill. That is 2 hits. That is 1 wound. So 1, it's going to go straight through. So here we go. +2, he's out of action. And the 1 attack onto my Rock Cutter. That's a hit. That is a wound. Going straight through. 1 +1 to this roll. He is out. All right, so now my chargers get to attack back. So I've got this guy over here who's going to attack. He's got 3 attacks because of Might from Beyond. This is going to be hitting on 4s. Getting 1 hit. Whoa. Wound on 2. That's a wound. AP -3, so it's a 4-up invul save. Oh, he's good. And now my Zealot's going to attack in over here. He's got 3 attacks, +1 attack because of the Zealot on the charge here. So this is going to be hitting on 4s. Getting 2 hits. That is 2 wounds at AP -3. They'll go straight through. So they're 3 damage apiece. And he is out of action. All right, so now the Sergeant's going to attack into my Aberrant over there. So he's got 2 attacks here. He's going to be hitting on 3s because he's only got the 1 flesh wound that he ignores and transhuman. So that's going to be 2 hits. These are going to be wounding on 4s. Getting 2 wounds. 1 save, but that's still enough to go down. So now he has to roll. Let's see if he's out of action. No, flesh wound. And now my heavy rock saw guy is going to attack over here, hitting on 4s because he's got a flesh wound. Getting a hit. That is a wound. +1, he's out. And now my Aberrant over here is going to be hitting into his leader over here. I've got 2 attacks hitting on 4s because of his wound. No hits there. All right, so that's the end of the turn here. At the end of the turn, with morale test, no one has to take a break because he's exactly half of his guys are dead. So not more than half, which is an important deciding factor there. So now we move into the nerve test taking. So he has one guy with a flesh wound. So he's got 4 guys out. So 4 plus 1 is good to go. So I've got a couple of guys that have to take tests here. He's out. I've got 4 guys as well out. 4 plus 4 is 8. So he is actually failed his nerve test. And then I've got my aberrant over here. 4 plus 3 is 7. He's good to go. So that is it for for the nerve test. So now we will roll to see who will have initiative going into the next turn. I take initiative with an 8. So we'll come back to you with that. All right, movement phase. He's going to stay there. He got readied. He got readied. He got readied. He is shook, and then he is going to charge into both of these guys over here. So Overwatch from the one sniper bro is not going to hit there, so his charge distance is totally in. And now my guy down on the bottom there is going to charge up over here. And he's in too. All right, and movement phase for the Dark Angels. He's going to ready himself, and then he's going to stay in combat. So is his leader, and he has to because he got charged. So that's going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the psychic phase. All right, I'm going to try to cast Might from Beyond onto my Zealot over there. Goes off. Wow. All right, so now into the shooting phase, starting off with me with the initiative. He's going to fire into him, looking for a 5 to hit because he's got camo cloak, and because he's got a camo cloak. Because he's got a camo cloak. That's it. It's just the camo cloak. No, it doesn't happen. Even though it parkoured its way around, still couldn't get the hit. And then he's going to shoot into my Magus over here. Hitting on a 4. That's a hit. Wounding on a 3. That's a wound. That's not a save. So he might be going down. So let's see, he's -1 for this roll because of that. So do a 3, he takes a flesh wound. And now my other laser guy here is going to fire into him, hitting on a 6 because now he's obscured. No. Cool. Every time the opposite happens with these two guys. And now his sergeant's going to shoot me with a pistol. That's a hit. That is a wound. That is not a save. So roll to see if he's out. No, flesh wound. All right, at the beginning of the fight phase, again, we both spent 2 command points to try to go first here. So let's see who gets it. Whoa, my opponent rolled a 2. I rolled a 5. I get to go first. Woo! All right, so my Zealot is now going to go because he's going to go first there. So I've got 2 base attacks, +1 because of being Zealot, +1 because of Might from Beyond. So he's going to have 4 attacks. These are actually going to be Strength 7, which is then ×2 with the hammer. So it's going to be, I'm looking at a Strength, like Strength 14 on these attacks here. Let's see if I can make some Primaris Captain pudding over here. So we got 4 attacks. These are going to be hitting on 4s because it's -1 because of the hammer. All right, getting 2 hits. These are going to be wounding on 2s. That is 2 wounds. 2 4-up invul saves. He failed 1, so he is dead. All right, so now his sergeant's going to go since he did spend the 2 command points, so we rolled off see who goes first, but you still gets to go again here. So he's going to have his 2 attacks in there, hitting on a 3. That's 2 hits, looking for 4s to wound. No wounds. And now my aberrant over here attacking into his sergeant. I've got 2 attacks, hitting on 5s because of the 2 flesh wounds. Getting 1 hit. Wounding on a 3 because he's got the power pick. That is a wound. AP -2, so it's a 6-up save. No, goes through, so it's D3 damage, 2 damage. Oh, 2 1s, another flesh wound. And now his guy here is going to attack back into my Zealot. 1 attack on a 3, that's a hit. Wounding on a 4, that's a wound. 5-up save. With a fill face, he's good. Woo! All right, so that is the end of the turn here into the morale phase. My opponent now has 5 guys out of combat, which is more than half of his squad. So he has to roll to see if he is broken. So 2d6. Highest leadership is going to be his sergeant over there with an 8. And an 8, he's good. All right, so now we got nerve test. His sergeant has to go. He's lost 5 guys, so it's 5 plus. 6 is definitely more. Rerolling because of and they shall know no rules. Just 4. 5 plus 4 is 9. He is shook. This guy over here has got a flesh wound. 3 plus 4 is 7. He's good to go. And my aberrant over here. +1. He's good to go. And then my Magos also has to do it. +5 is 9. Ooh, he might be a 9. Nope, Magos has a leadership of 8, so he is, he's shook. So he is real shook. All right, now we're rolling to see who has initiative this next turn. I've got a 9, so I will be going first. All right, so movement phase. He's going to stay in combat. My Aberrant back there is going to stay in combat. Magos can't do anything since he's shook. These two guys are going to ready themselves, and then he's going to stay in combat. So now we're going to have some charges. We're going to start with this Aberrant into his leader. He is in. All right, now my guy over here is going to charge into the guy on top over here. He's going to roll it for Overwatch. No hit there, so his charge distance is in. And then he's going to charge in over here. Hey, he's in. All right, so the movement phase is, that's it. That's it for the movement phase, because he got charged by everyone, so they can't back out of combat over here. Psychic phase is not going to happen since he's shook, and shooting phase is not going to happen since everybody got charged over there, and these guys don't have anyone to shoot at. So we will come back to you with the fight phase. All right, my opponent's going to spend 2 command points to attack first. So who are you going to go with first?
I'll go with him again.
He's going to go with the leader. Oh, this guy up here is going to attack over there. So he's going to attack. He's got 1 attack, hitting on a 3. That's a hit. Wounding on a 4. That is a wound. 5-up save. He's good. All right, Charger's going to go off here. So we're going to have the guy with the rock saw hitting on 4s because he is flesh wounded. No hits there. The guy up here is going to attack in here. That is just going to be a regular guy there. So it's going to be 2 attacks hitting on 4s. No hits there. All right, so now my guy here is going to attack in here. He's got 2 attacks hitting on 4s because of the hammer. Getting 1 hit, wounding on a 2. That is a wound. AP -3, so that's going to go straight through. So it's going to be 3 damage, +2 to this roll. Yeah, he is out of action. And then we're going to start the regular phase with my Aberrant over here, my Zealot Aberrant. He didn't charge, so he doesn't get anything special, so it's going to be 2 attacks hitting on 4s. Getting 2 hits. That is 1 wound. AP -3 is going to go straight through, so it's going to be 3 damage. That 6 means he's out of action. All right, so that's the end of the turn since he already attacked back and he messed up there. So we have a break test to take here. So we're going to have looking for a 7 leadership there to see if he's broken.
I'm -7.
Oh, but yeah, but it's the leadership. It doesn't matter for the break test. It's only on the leadership. On a 7, he's good to go. So he doesn't break onto that one. And he doesn't have any flesh wounds. So I've got a couple guys that do. That guy back there is good to go, and my rock saw guy is good to go, and my Magos is good to go. All right, and that's actually where we're going to call the game. Because at this point, it's not looking good for a lone sniper bro there. Even if he backed out of combat, I was just going to charge in with everybody over here, and it was going to be a mess. So, yeah, pretty brutal game there. The fact that I got right into his face and he was so shooty right off the bat there really made a big difference. So I got a bunch of guys in there in the first opening salvo because of Cult Ambush. And then afterwards, I got some really good advances for like a second wave of guys that came in like turn 2 and turn 3. So that's kind of what you got to do. Like, these guys are really brutal. The Aberrants, once they get up in your face like that, oof, man, they can really they really pack a punch. It's pretty awesome. I'm a big fan of that. And the Magos getting to do the Might from Beyond is pretty fun too. So good times had by all. So I hope you guys have all enjoyed it. I certainly have. Really enjoying the Commander, really enjoying Kill Team still. So I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek, as always. My opponent's been Neil, and until next time, have fun. And remember that this terrain is actually done by War Games Tournament. War Games Tournaments out of England. So check them out. Pretty awesome MDF cutout that my opponent Neil painted up beautifully, and I had a lot of fun playing on. The 3D effect. Pardon me. The 3D effect is really freaking awesome. I really enjoy playing on it. So give them a check it out. So again, hope you guys have all enjoyed it. I certainly have. Catch you next time.